Good morning. All right. The spring, for the most part, still being wound up. Market's sideways here. You can see majority of the week just in the same place where it started. Close, 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 close. Pretty much unchanged, give or take a little bit. At the spiders there, we'll see where today goes. Down a little bit, 420.60. 420.60. So actually up a little bit. 2060. 60. What's yesterday's high? 420.72. So still within the range, but coming down. Looks like it had gotten slightly above 421, 421.50-ish almost. Okay. So it gapped up above and it came back in and sitting on the support right here. So we'll see if they can get it turned around. So gapping down. We still got 25 minutes to go, but gapping down within the range in the middle of nowhere. 420, 68, 68. What 2068? All right, well, it's a good place for it to be gapping down. I mean, that overnight resistance here, this is broken down. I like to see, the 24-hour chart, and we call the day chart, lined up. So at these pivot lows, this would need to come up a little bit. As long as it holds above here, it might be able to 65. Well, it is above there. It's right over in here. So a little jiggling up here, and maybe this thing will spike up today. We'll see. All right. S&Ps, just came off of that point there, and you can see the congestion kind of in that area that's right there to the left. But we got a bottoming tail bar, we got a correction bar, and well, there's the pivot low. A little bit of trading range going on, and what is McGraw showing here? Pretty much lines up with support and resistances. So it ain't, it isn't going down to 41.50. I already looked down there. There's no juice down there anyway. So 41.75, which is about where I see those lines. Let me just share this with those in YouTube so they know what we're talking about here. McGraw, is this your chart there or someone else's chart that they're posting with the information that they're getting? It's on Trading View here, published by Trading. Your chart. I got you. Right. Okay. So, you know what we talked about in MT Live was that, we're there looking at all of these different strikes over different expirations. I looked at the options table, and I looked to the left, and I came up with the same thing. So, but that's cool. That's cool. All right. Did you manually put there, or do they have something that automatically puts it on there for you? So what I've got written down here is a call spread above 42.40. Want to get far enough away. Above 42.40. And 42.50 is a big level. So even that there's no juice there, 42.40. If it was to approach there, you could go above that then. But, if you do it early on because of the time decay, no, I know that, McGraw. What I'm saying is that something that comes as part of their service that they're selling, or is it something that's available that you know it's just it's a service? Okay, so you need some kind of plug-in that goes on to. I got you. Okay, well, maybe I'll ask them. I have eSignal. Not too many people use eSignal that I see. I mean, it's a pretty big company, but I don't come across many people that say they're using it. Maybe some institutions are using it because they don't pay for your like TradeStation and some of these others that give you uh, either big discounts on commissions, or you open up an account there and you get the software for free. They told me that they were considering doing that years ago and then they didn't do it. I don't know. I wish they did. Anyway, so SPX, you know, above here, around 42.40, somewhere up there, and below 41.75, which is down here. So it's a little dangerous with these when it starts getting rather tight, because if today's the day that for whatever reason can get things to ignite, it could make a substantial move. All right. And there we have it. YM, it was doing better than everything else in the morning. It actually was pretty wild. This market's been, I don't know, a little retarded. Sometimes I use the word schizophrenic, but this was looking great in the morning. And, the markets start moving. They looked like they were going to fill the gap. I shorted, it didn't work. So it was relatively tight, no big pain inflicted there. But then, they went up and the Dow that looked the best in the morning went down. Remember Dan, you asked me about, getting in that, and I guess he gave enough room. It would have been fine to get in it, but, you sat through all of this pain throughout the day where it had to come all the way down, and where it was the strongest in the morning, it then underperformed all damn day. And then, it comes back to life. So it's just kind of weird. It's been kind of weird, but just this consolidation and uncertainty at resistance. And so now with this type of a pattern, it suggests that this should be able to make new all-time highs. And that is based on the fact that here was the down move, here was the sell setup, that showed relative strength. It came up, bullish price action, correction bar. It should go up there. Now, breaking under yesterday's low would be a serious, failure. I'm not suggesting they should do it because I shouldn't do it, but we always keep an open mind with two scenarios. So if for any reason this actually did do that, that would be a serious failure. And because the chart, and we say it's a shock because nothing on the chart supports that it should happen. Now, as you can see, that move up created a void, and now there's pivot highs and pivot lows that are opposing each other. So breaking below this low opens up the door to that possibly happening. So we'll see. We'll see how it shapes up. Qs. Yeah, Thane, it could be an inside day today. Sure. Going back to YM. Yes, it could be an inside day, just pop back and forth, all day long, breakdown failure, come back up again, stay in the upper half of the bar and go up next week. We can be celebrating tax increases and capital gains, things coming back and spending money like people do that want to go bankrupt and all that stuff, and have a big party about that. Yeah. All right. Qs, just marking time up here. Pivot high, pivot low, back and forth, back and forth. And that bullish price action, if you can clear that, I don't know if it's going to be today, but going sideways at resistance, that's positive. And we got a little correction bar yesterday. Right. The Russell, right now, this is what I'm talking about, with a bar that gets negated. Rather than it was a green one, we had a big red one with a topping tail at a pivot high, and it got negated. So of course that's a surprise, that's a shock, and prices come up to the prior pivot high now, and was the next stop the top of the range? Well, we'll see. This one isn't going sideways back and forth, and it's actually still trending. And so strong, and the weekly chart has just been going nowhere for the whole year, but a strong close here after these two bottoming tail bars support that this should go up. All right, bonds continue to do nothing. It's trading within a range. There's the 10-year. It's always going to be the same story, but different prices, give or take. Oil, new highs. I guess this demand for oil, right? Corona over, going to spend that, money at the gas pumps, and oil's needed as much as they're trying to force the Green Deal down our throats. Somebody's buying oil. Where would the ceiling be for oil? Well, the continuous contract's a mess because of what happened during coronavirus. This is the continuous contract, with that situation where you had to pay over here. So it was a crazy thing that happened. But you can see the congestion here at that 68 level where, so if we can kind of eliminate this and kind of drag it down here, I'm just saying, like, as if it was a bad tick. So, this is a significant resistance level, and it's up here again. So this is a momentum move. This could turn into an M top. But so far it's, acting bullishly, buying the dip. And so the next level, duplicate that. And the next level is, up around, let's call it $75 or so. Yeah, there you go. How simple that is when you don't use any of those other fine tools. VWAPs and trend lines and this, that, the other thing. All the stuff that inflicts brain damage. Silver consolidating. Gold, chopping around there a little bit. Well, Mr. Gibby says on the boat, the boat dock, it's already $5 a gallon. Where I am here, the premium, not for the boat, for the car, it's still under $3, but $2.90 something. Yeah. A VWAP MACD oscillator with a little Ichikumi cloud laid over it would just be perfect, McGraw. We just get one of those color charts like that. And I'll tell you, people gravitate to that stuff because, when you're starting out in the market, you think that that's what you need to tell what's going on. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I told you, I didn't bypass all of that BS years ago. I mean, that kind of stuff really wasn't around. Ichikumi clouds, but of course there were trend lines and fib lines and all of that. And what an aha moment when I realized you don't need any of that crap, and it doesn't work. So there's a huge, hurdle and pothole, call it whatever you want, that gets in your way of, understanding what happens in the markets. Anyway, transports, bullish price action. I mean, it's just going sideways, but this market does not want to correct one bit. It's not moving much, but it sure as hell doesn't want to go down. So anyway, there you go. Look at this weekly chart. I got it scrunched up there. Still extended momentum slowed. And this is a good example. It doesn't mean that this couldn't go down next week, but it's a good example of how we look at candlesticks versus, say, most that candlestick gurus would say that, okay, that's a top, it's bearish, you're going to get some big down bar because it gapped up a little bit and then it gapped down, and maybe eventually it does. But to us, we look at this, and this one candle means that momentum slowed down. Well, so does this one, and so does this one, and so does this one. Now this one has a red bar after it, and it did have a run up toward this area, but momentum can slow down and it can speed up. So what we see on the daily chart is, yes, the momentum slowed down, but it still hasn't broken any support. And the way it looks is, it can go up. So these kind of candlestick patterns based on, the typical interpretation, you got to be careful with all of that. And, simplification is always the best. Hard to do that when you're inundated with so much information that's telling you this is what's supposed to happen, based on a candlestick. But anyway, that's what I'm pointing out. This is a good example of, hey, momentum was supposed to slow down, and it did, but it didn't result in a collapse. So, all yours, Dan.
Good morning. So yesterday into the close, there was some crazy price action in the last 5, 6, 7 minutes or whatever. Somebody was saying it's because of that retroactive tax, but then later in the night, I noticed all the indexes gapping up big. And here we are today. But I said yesterday into the close, I personally was expecting just another, narrow, boring consolidation day. But we'll see. Has a nice gap up here. Diamonds I like the best for a new trade. Look at that, gapping over yesterday's high now. So 30-minute high, we might have to go with it. And 30-minute high and or bullish pullback. Today's 0 DTE day. So all our opens seem fine. Just ask me if you have any questions. Here on Beyond, I heard Kramer say the stupidest thing that I have heard him say in years. I usually respect his comments in the morning, but my gosh, he's bragging about Beyond Meat here, and he says everything's clicking for them. They're getting all these contracts, and he says, I'm paraphrasing, but he said something like, this stock looks like it's ready to roll. I'm like, are you effing kidding me? The thing just went from 100 gapping to 152, and now you're telling people it's time to get on board? He's usually not that stupid. He looks at a chart and says, oh, wait for a pullback. And then I think I heard him say some broker came out and changed their rating from a sell to a buy. I think those are two death nails right there of a short-term top. There's no reason to fade it yet on the 15, but with all that bullish sentiment and good news, McDonald's, KFC, whatever, that's what made it rip. Once we get a bearish turn, maybe on an hourly chart, I'll be looking to do it. Oh, and I think he also said that the Reddit boys are also pushing it up, or somebody said it. AMC here, some guy was on CNBC. I texted Greg at the time, and he's saying the only reason this thing's going up is because novice retail people, but I heard him say twice. He says, this has nothing to do with a short squeeze. And I'm just shaking my head. Like, those are the two stupidest comments I've heard pre-market. How could he say such a retarded statement? It has nothing to do with short squeeze. Man, he needs to go back and watch our MT Live on Wednesday. My gosh, that was a stupid statement. I heard somebody say Apple got a downgrade, and it's been underperforming. We said yesterday it looks like a call spread candidate. Let's see here, YouTube, Pearl, Nikola. Yeah, it's a buy setup. I can't tell where it's gapping, but yeah, it's a 1, 2, 3 on the weekly and a buy setup on the daily. Yeah, that looks fantastic. Buy over prior bar's high. I love it. I would post it right now if I had more time. I don't, but it looks fantastic. What'd you say? Nikola, Amazon, Nikola. Yeah, I remember somebody asked me pre-market maybe, or even in the green room yesterday morning, and I said I liked it. You're chasing now, so nothing to do with it. Amazon plan. Um, I'm watching it. We got a condor on this. That's the background of the question. We got a condor, so we're holding our breath here that it's going to stay above 32.30. That's the plan. We got a Nvidia call spread, and that's opening flat, so that's totally fine. We got our stuff in place. McGraw gave me this one, LAC, today, and I posted it, LAC. A couple weeks ago, we did bottoming patterns. This is a beautiful, beautiful bottoming pattern where it takes a while. And, we got the 200, we got the 20 and 50 curling, we got a buy setup on the monthly. So that looks really good. Oliver Snow. We actually sold an out of the money put spread on Snow. This is a very bullish reversal bar. We sold the 210s. I see it down a little bit here pre-market, so I would just stay away for now, and let's see how deep it goes into that bar. But the retracement rules, it needs to stay 40% in the upper part of the real body to stay bullish. Lizzie, kind of a 1, 2, 3, although it's a little deeper, but bullish pre-market, so Lizzie's worth watching. Plug, we started nibbling on a number of these EVs that have monthly buy setups and breakouts on the daily. Here's another one, EVs and batteries and the whole sector. So I like this Plug. Let's keep an eye on. This Airbnb, we did a put spread yesterday and closed it in one day. Let's keep an eye on doing another put spread for next week. We're also long stock. Looks great. Koss is another meme. Reddit boy toy gapping up. It has room. Has room to 30 maybe. So back to AMC. AMC and GME, if you can sell naked calls or even a call spread, then 30-minute low on both of these are candidates for 0 DTE. Diego, Hewlett Packard, and TDC. Hewlett Packard, it's a big gap. You got to mark it off visually, right? So that's a big gap. But we had this as a short the other day. We had it as a short right at the perfect turn. But the monthly's climactic and sure looks lower. And it's just, with a gap that big, it's a little difficult to get on board. TDC, I don't see anything compelling there. Yeah, SSYS is on my list over here, bottoming pattern breakout. Sol is another one. Sol, I like as a core trade, 1, 2, 3, buy set up monthly. Also Sono, no, not Sono, let me find it. I looked at it this morning, it's another S. Where are you, Sol? SOL and Solo. Solo, not Solo, Solo. Okay, so that's Solo and Sol. So, well, look at, they look identical. No wonder I was confused. They look identical. But I like them both over the highs, core long. And the tool Hexo, day trade at most, it's up 4 bars. John Van Tuin, your drop down. I know you've never heard me say that before. It's neutral right here. It's bounced to resistance. I don't know. This Fizzler, yeah, that was on my list yesterday. Fizzler 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't post it. But yeah, I like Fizzler. I'm gonna put that in a window here. Oh no, I do have it in a window on my other computer. Yeah, Fizzler looks good. And Shoe? What the heck happened with Shoe? Is that real? My alarm went off. Is it? What the heck is going on there? All right, we're